Hello, 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 YouTube. I think we're live. Let me know if you can see me and hear me and where you're tuning in from. So, today I want to talk to you about something that has been coming up in my field a lot. A lot of my own students and clients ask me this question. I also see this as something around just my world, friends, family members. And so, we're really going to dive into how do you get your partner to help you build your empire, build your business. So just in Kainat, my Kainat Success Academy, we have women that have recently gotten engaged. We have women that are newlyweds. We have women that have been married for a really long time. And they want to know, how did I use my husband's masculine energy and his testosterone to go from zero? Literally, when I got married, I brought like nothing, like no money, like zero to the table, except for me, my femininity, my son from my previous marriage. Like, I didn't bring any finances to the marriage. Like, I've been very honest about that from day one. And I used just my intellectual property and my energy to go from literally zero to 8 figures and now scaling to 9 figures using his masculine energy, his testosterone. Look, I've got plenty of my own masculine energy and my own testosterone, but I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And my husband does not want me to be a man, he wants me to be a woman. He wants my feminine energy. So, this video is going to be all about how to get your partner to help you, to pour into you without nagging him, without drama, without fighting, without feeling like you're being a burden, okay? Because this is something that a lot of my clients and students feel like, but Mina, won't I be a burden? Or what if he treats me like a burden? Okay. So first of all, happy Lionsgate, happy 8/8. This is a really powerful, potent portal. And oh my God, I have been manifesting some like crazy things behind the scenes. And I can't wait to share with you guys soon. Okay, so the first thing I notice is that if you are ambitious, if you're driven, if you're what I call a feminine huntress, if you're high achieving, the mistake that you might be making in your energy and in your communication is that you're actually taking your problems to him and not your desires. And I think this gets really twisted because we hear, oh, men love solving problems. Yes, yes, but I'm going to actually show you in this video. By the end of this video, you'll know what that actually means from an evolutionary perspective and how if you take the desire to him, he's gonna like solving it. If you take the problem to him, he's not gonna love that, okay? He might um, become drained, he might become resentful, he might become confused, and because you're showing up in a very particular way. So when you bring him a problem, he feels like he's already failing. There's no points in it. When you bring him a desire, he feels like a king. So how your marriage can become like a portal of expansion is how you take like your energy and how you communicate what you're bringing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, girl, you need to have better marketing. So just in Kainat, a couple days ago, we had this live 7 day immersion. And in the 7 day immersion with my Kainat ladies, we talked about the caveman and the cavewoman brain and like our primal tendencies. And in that particular call, we were using that in the view of marketing, but honestly, it's the same brain. So if you have really poor marketing, he's not going to want to pour into you. He's not going to want to subscribe to that. Okay. So I'm going to share with you 3 secrets on how you can transform this. Okay. How you can completely change how your man is showing up and pouring into your relationship and your empire and your money manifestation. So here's secret number one. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Let me know if you have experienced this or maybe you desire his involvement and his participation. Throw me a heart, share this with a friend that needs to hear it, and I'll wait for your feedback because I know there's like a 30-second delay, I believe, in when I talk and when you hear it. Hello, Alexandra. Hello, Maria. It's so nice to have you guys here live. Is this something that you've experienced? Is this something that you're desiring? So let me share a little bit about my own story before we even get into it. So when I was dating, I was a burnt out, broke single mother. with my mom having stage 4 ovarian cancer. My mom was given just a few short months to live, and my mom really wanted me to see, like, wanted to see me married and settled down, and she wanted my son to have a safe home because she was really concerned because, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so when I started rotational dating, and I met my husband. He proposed in 2 weeks, and in 2 months we were married. And I literally like handed over the keys to my condo and my car to my family, and like came into the marriage with zero bank account. Okay. I had like a lot of intellectual property. I have a really, really epic education, and I love to learn. I love to grow. I'm very driven. I'm very ambitious. But I bought like no money to the relationship. In fact, I bought debt to the relationship. And so when my husband and I got married, he was providing for everything. We moved into his house. He gave me a car, and I became a stay-at-home mom and wife. And during that time, I started a blog. Within a year of having that blog, I started a YouTube channel. And I started attracting people to my YouTube channel, sharing my expertise, my knowledge, my intellectual IP, which wasn't making me money at this time, but I had it, right? So I started sharing that. And after about 6 or 7 years, I monetized the YouTube channel. And I am now the owner of a brand that earns 8 figures globally. I own over 200 um, offers, meaning intellectual property. I have books, I have 150 courses, I have trademarks that my company owns, and my company is rapidly growing. And we are basically right now in the portal of manifesting to 9 figures really, really quickly. And how I did this was instead of, I knew that I could do it the burned out way. I had a real estate business before my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and I had sold millions of dollars of real estate and made hundreds of thousands of dollars for myself in that business. And I knew that I have these skill sets, right? But I knew that I had done it with burning out. And now in this marriage with a man that was masculine energy, I couldn't do it the same way. And so I basically used his masculine energy, his testosterone, to build this empire. I literally built this 8 figure and soon to be 9 figure empire on his back with his consent and with him being happy. So, because I have done it with my own, yes, but I wouldn't be the radiant, happy, joyful, like full of life wife that he had married. And that's not fair to him, right? So, because that he wanted a certain feminine energy woman. And so I knew that I had to use him then. And men are happy to be used by their feminine women. Alexandra said, "Hi, Christian. Hi, Charisma. Can't wait for today's call. Yes, I'll see you guys in Kainath in a couple of hours." Alexandra said, "Yes, my man was supporting my business when it was ringing $0 for so long, still supporting me now that I am making money. But of course, I desire to go even bigger." Yes, yes. And I'll share with you these 3 secrets of how you can do that. Amira said, "So relatable. Money is easier to make when you have a man taking care of the basics and don't need it." For sure. There is nothing like with you without your energy. And I had that with you without your energy when I was selling online my courses and my intellectual property because my man was paying all the bills, right? Like I don't need the money. And so it is easier to make money that way. Christian said, "My husband literally said this week he doesn't mind being used." Yeah, he like I remember my husband said to me, "I need you to need me." And that was like I come from like the strong, independent woman trap. So that was so like paradigm shifting for me when he said that to me. Yeah. So here's secret number one, why some women have men bending over backwards to like as my former mentor would say, swim through shark infested waters, while other women, as soon as they bring a problem to their partner like plays dead on the couch or like runs off to the golf course. Okay. So secret number one is men don't respond to problems, they respond to desires. Men don't respond to problems, they respond to desires. So a lot of women, I've seen even my own clients doing this, and this is what I point out. they will get themselves in this like, oh, I hate this. Oh, the internet is broke. I don't know how to figure this out. I hate technology. And then they'll take that energy to their man. Okay, I don't know about you, but uh, have you experienced people like that where every little thing is a disaster and then they bring that energy to you? Okay, so masculine energy wants to solve and serve when he feels invited. I have a brilliant story that will actually um, really demonstrate this. So I had this friend when I was in my 20s, and this woman would take the smallest thing and like she was the queen of turning a mole into a mountain, right? Like not being able to use the payphone or not being able to pump gas would turn into World War III for her. And she would call you and she would be so worked up in a tizzy. And she would like, I could be in the middle of something huge and she would get me so worked up in her problem. And now I've dropped what I'm doing, which was really important. And I'm doing what she wants me to do, which is a non urgent, seemingly urgent issue. Like she can't find her keys or she can't figure out how to pump gas. And I would like she would like raise my cortisol, right? Like I was a single mom. I'm going to school full time in Northwestern University. I'm running a real estate business. I'm managing all of that real life problems. And this woman, like, would get me worked up, get cortisol running through my body in the way she was communicating. And I'm like now dropping anything. I've got my son here and I'm like, okay, did you check this? Did you do this? Is there someone you can ask for help? I'm acting like she's dying. Like she's literally kidnapped and I'm trying to guide her, but like she can't find her keys. And my mom kept noticing this, that she would get me so worked up. And then by the time I would hang up the phone, I would be surging with cortisol and I would forget what I was doing. And my mom would be like, calm down, calm down. Like, take a deep breath. And my mom like literally sat me down once in the middle of one of these things and she said that your friend thinks that you're a firefighter. She calls you with all of these emergencies that seem really urgent, but they're not. And you are in the middle of like seriously urgent things that you drop to cater to this woman. And she got really, really close to me and she said, Mina, your friend is an arsonist. And my jaw dropped. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And she goes, your friend is an arsonist. She lights fires and then she calls you to come put them out. But there's no end to it because she's just going to keep lighting things on fire. And I was like, whoa, whoa. And so I would choose when I would answer her call. Like I changed my reactions to her. I started responding versus reacting. So be honest with me, because I've noticed that with my clients too. The ones that like they're like, oh, my husband's like not like Irfan. When I go to him, like this is why, because you're an arsonist. You get really worked up because you can't figure out one little thing and you get yourself in a life and death kind of energy. And then you take that to him and he's thinking, okay, there's a big old fire over here. The best I can do is if I don't dive, putting his caveman brain is like freaking out now. He's thinking, I don't even know if I'm going to survive this. And if I do, the best I'm going to do is I have a very, very unhappy woman. The best I'm going to be able to do is she'll be less unhappy. I'm out. And he'll just play dead. He's like, maybe if I just play dead watching TV, she'll just sniff around and go away. Or if he's got more of the flight nervous system, he'll just run off to the golf course or to be with the boys. If he's got more of the fight nervous system, he'll start arguing with you. So you need to be honest if you are taking your desire to your man or if you are taking your fire to your man and not in a good way, a negative fire, the fire you put on. Okay. And if you need help with this, we've got our Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union class coming on August 15th, 16th, and 17th. And girl, you need to be in there if this is you. If you want to make sure that you are not being an arsonist and you're bringing your desires to your man. Okay. Who's ready for secret number two? Secret number two. Okay. So a lot of women think that if you use his masculine energy, he's going to become depleted. He's going to be tired. He's going to be exhausted. You might be thinking, oh, he's already tired after work, right? But here's the thing. Here's secret number two. Masculine energy grows when it feels useful, not controlled. So when you are trying to control him versus collaborating with him, it will feel like he's getting exhausted. It will feel like he's gonna feel burdened. And some of it also, that's why I put the shameless class in desires. I had my husband and I did this like 3 hour training with you guys in that because a lot of you had parents that made you feel like a burden without wanting to, like they didn't mean to. So you're still carrying that in your system. So now every time you want to elicit collaboration from your partner, you start feeling burdened, like you're going to be a burden. But that's because that's something that's in your past. So you're already carrying that in your field, and then you do what's called energy transference and you give him that. Okay. So when you're letting go of micromanaging, you're not feeling like a burden. You're not already thinking, oh, he's already so exhausted. Like, he's going to feel more tired. So let me give you an example of this from my life. When my husband, when I started, my YouTube channel and then eventually my business, my husband had a full-time job, right? Like that he was, like now he works from home, but he was like driving to work and like being there all day. And he would come home and he would be tired. But then when I would say, oh my God, like I'm doing this, he would like light up. My vision, my desires would actually give him life. And he would tell me, he would say that I do my job to make money for you guys, to provide for you guys, but it doesn't like fulfill me. It doesn't light me up. Helping you with this business lights me up. This is why he's in Kainat full time now. He does like the masculine energy part of the coaching with the girls, and then I do the feminine part. Like it's so he says he fills up. Let me give you an example. We Irfan and I did a 7 hour training together in Kainat on Wednesday on building a 6, 7, 8 figure empire like business, giving you the exact models and frameworks to use from going from 0 all the way to 8, exactly what we're using to scale to 9. Well, today, Friday, is my day to be coaching the girls inside Kainat. And I'm planning for about 3 hours of office hours. You know what he said to me last night? He's like, can I come? Today's meeting? And I'm like, sure, if you want to. It's my day in Kainat. And he's like, can I come? So he wants to be like, he wants to be there. He wants to pour into us. He wants to coach, even though it's not his day. So this is an example of collaborating together, giving the masculine life, 10xing his testosterone. I made kind of a very like provocative reel yesterday, a couple days ago on Instagram, and I said I used up my man's masculine energy and all of his testosterone, right? Like trying to get people triggered so they could go in the comments and make it viral, right? And in the chat, in the description, I wrote, guess what happened? It 10xed. There's no such thing as using up his masculine energy. There's no such thing as using up his testosterone. It grew. Masculine energy grows in the presence of feminine energy. His testosterone grows in the presence of feminine pleasure. Do you know that they actually have done studies on this? That when a woman is having an orgasm, his testosterone shoots up. So are you taking your business things to him as if it's a dreadful fire to be put out? Or are you taking it as if it's orgasmic? That is a big difference. And I'll be teaching you exactly how to do this inside of Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union. The link is in the description box for you guys. Okay. This is a big difference. Who is ready for secret three? I remember when I was in masculine energy and enjoyed doing things for others. Yes, yes, we want to. When it feels good, when we know, right? When we know that we're investing, it's gonna feel good. It's collaborative, not like being dragged there, not being controlled there. Who's ready for secret number three? This is also a big one. Okay, secret number three is here's the truth. When you're married, your empire isn't yours alone, it's his legacy too. Men want to know that they're building something. Every single man waits for that one moment where he's going to get to save someone, where he gets to be a hero. They've been done studies on like boys as young as 18 months, and they really respond to that hero energy. This is why they wear capes. They jump off of the staircase pretending like they're Superman, right? They wait. I read something. I think this might be one of my professors or in one of my evolutionary psychology textbooks. They said that like the average man waits his entire life to be able to jump in front of the moving van to save the child or like save the cat from the tree. Like this is why, traditionally now women do it too, but traditionally men would sign up to go to war and be in the Navy and in, police officers, firefighters, because they wanted to be heroes. They want to be heroes, right? So you're not meant to do this alone, right? So healthy masculine energy thrives when there is a shared vision. But if you're trying to show him all of your little tech issues as problems, but there is no shared vision, he's like, okay, every day she keeps bringing this like fire for me to solve, but I get no points. There's no pleasure. She's an arsonist. And then when they're like, what am I even investing in? Is this even worth it? Right? Is it even worth it for me? By the way, guys, I am like loving my outfit today. Maybe I'll stand up in Kainath and show you guys. We have Kainath call later today. I'm excited for Desire Dollars and Divine Union, counting down the days. Yeah, me too. I was looking at my schedule. School is starting for us next week, so I can't pull this off. But I was like, can I add another pre-party? Because we already did the pre-game party, which was called Shameless, the Naughty Girl Unleashed. Okay, so masculine structure gives your feminine expansion roots and reach. So here's another thing that I want to share with you. What I've seen is when a marriage doesn't have a big vision, if it's just like about you two trying to get your individual needs met and there's no big vision, what I notice is these couples get so focused on like imaginary problems. They don't like the way that they chew. You don't like the way that he dresses. It's like you have no shared big vision. So, like, little things are problems. You don't like the way that he spoke to your mother. Like, it's like you get so caught up in like little baby things that are just so like, she's looking at me, he poked me. It's like very toddler consciousness. But couples that have upgraded shared visions, right? Like, for example, my husband and I are so freaking obsessed with pouring into our Kainat ladies, like making sure that these couples and these women are so successful that all of their desires manifest. We don't have time to get into like petty little fights over who eats how and how someone dresses and who said we're obsessed with how we can bring more mastery, more love, more devotion to our clients. How can we help them achieve their desires? How can we help them 10x their marriage and their manifestations and their money? Do you see that the shared vision actually expands our union? It expands our marriage. This is such an important thing. When I have couples come to me and they're fighting over really like little dumb things, I'm like, okay, you guys need to upgrade your problems. I'm embarrassed for you guys. I'm embarrassed. Like I like say obnoxious things to wake them out of it. I'm like grown ass intelligent people like you, conscious people, spiritual people like you. If this is what you're arguing about, I'm embarrassed. Don't tell anyone you know me. That's embarrassing as fuck. Get some upgraded problems. Go be useful to humanity and society. Because is this what we're going to worry about seriously that he chews with his mouth open? That's the thing that's going to piss us off. You need bigger and better problems, girl. Okay, get obsessed with making $1 million. Get obsessed with solving other people's problems. Get obsessed with helping the planet. And then your marriage will also 10x. Okay, and so I'm going to actually do a screen share and show you guys how desires works, and I'll show you guys the back end of that, what you get. Let me see. Okay. Can someone please let me know in the chat when you can see that? If you would let me please know that you can see the Desires sales page. So what you're going to actually do is you're going to go click on the link in the description box and pin to the first comment called um, Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union. Okay, awesome. So this is what that looks like. And I talk about on here how my mom, and she didn't mean this in a negative way. She actually celebrated this, but my mom would say that Mina wants something from every aisle of every store because I just had a lot of desires, okay? And she didn't mean this in a negative way at all. She encouraged it. However, I started feeling shame because my mom didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, and I was like, oh my God, I want too much. And so I share the journey of how I transmuted that shame that had formed. This is just the feedback from after the the shameless pregame, which by the way, let me show you guys. I'm gonna show you behind the scenes. So if you purchase this today, this is what it looks like. You're gonna get this email that tells you the dates and the times, and then you have this in there. This is Shameless Part 1, Shameless Part 2, Shameless Part 3. So you have this, I think it's a little bit over 3 hours. I think it might be 3.5 hours of recordings that you can watch. This is what these women are referring to on here. Okay, so Becky said she's in Kainat and she said her fawn's shameless session is worth millions. So my husband does this like clearing lesson session with you guys to overcome your shame, to transmute it, because a lot of us have been shamed for our desires. And of course, my mom didn't mean to shame me. She actually encouraged us to have a lot of desires. However, because I knew that my mom didn't have a lot of money, it created shame, right? Because when I'm 5-year-old brains, 6-year-old brains are not fully developed, and so they create meaning, right? Just go and like just even read these, like so sexy. Like just read what happened just after shame, just like the first 3 hours, and that was just the pregame. Look at all these look at all these responses in just the free, like the shame activation that we did. Okay, so you can go read this on the sales page. And we're going to, it says on here that we're going to meet live for 3 days. But honestly, I am planning on doing an after party as well. So it'll probably end up being 4 live sessions. So just be prepared for that. And be prepared for at least 3 hours each day. So how this works is right now, if you sign up, it's $222 at the moment. It will be going up later, but today it's $222. And the shameless party that's already in there, the shameless pre-party, that's worth 1,111. Then the training that I'm doing on day 1 is worth another 1,111. And then day 2 is going to be how to make $10,000 in a day. So that's divine dollars. That's worth at least 1,111. I'd honestly charge more for that. Okay. Then we have the divine union, like how to be on the same team and how to do this together. Collapsing polarity distortions, cultivating provision. So, how can you create prosperity through pleasure, play, provision, polarity, all of the passion, right? Purpose. And so that's also worth 1,111. And then we're going to have the after party, which will be 1,111. So you're basically getting a total value of 5,555 for 222. And I mean, the live energy, why not show up in the live energy of all of these women and some men as well? We have men come with their women as well who are on the same journey. Like, I think that's so priceless in a world that tells you all kinds of distortions of how men are bad and your desires are bad and you want too much. In a world where everyone's pulling you into scarcity and into division and into loneliness, being in a community of the most high vibe people on the planet, conscious women, conscious men that are putting in the inner work, that are making life fun, that have a passion, that have a purpose, that want to play, they want to be in pleasure while they create their purpose on the planet, right? That's a tongue twister. I did that pretty well, huh? And so it's 222. You do get lifetime access to the recordings. I don't know if I'm going to be selling this forever. I know that the price will definitely be going up. So I'm, just giving this away at 222 at the time, and I would love to have you. And in the back end, what I recommend is purchase it today so that you have time to go over the shameless content in there. You have time to integrate, play with it, and then join us live for the 4 days. All right. And let me see what you guys are saying. I'm going to stop screen share and I'm going to grab the link and throw that in the chat for you. Layla said, Irfan's shame clearing exercise was so potent. Shame is so deeply ingrained in my system that I'm going to have to do it again in a few days. Yes, you can definitely do that. You could even do it like once a week. You can do it as a ritual, and that will actually just, oh my God, pour more fuel to your desire. Maria said, I've been watching Shameless for a few days now because I have to pause the video every 2 seconds to integrate things. I love that, Maria. I love that you're making it your own and going at your own pace. Learning to be super patient with this kind of inner work. Beautiful. And here's the thing, babe. It works in the subconscious. It works in the brain that doesn't require any effort. So allow the thing to do its thing. Don't think that there has to be effort on your part. The shame clearing exercise was amazing, really helped me clear something. Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. That brings us so much joy because we know that before we were going to have the big desire conversation and then, have the conversation of all of your deepest desires, we had to clear the shame first because that's the thing that actually blocks us. That's the thing that is the what some people would call count like the counter intention. You're trying to manifest this, but that shame is pulling you in the other direction. Yeah. Any questions before um, we wrap this up? Go ahead and get enrolled, get yourself set up. You'll get an email immediately with the welcome email, and then you can log into the portal and you can start binge watching what's already there. To make this even like a little bit extra potent, there is a special offer on the checkout page where you can add in the feminine offering where you become the feminine offer. And so you can add that if you want to, if you don't already have it. I'm going to go watch the Shameless part again after this. Amazing, Vic. I love that. I love how dedicated you are to your inner work and your desires because our desires, our feminine desires, actually create worlds. They move society forward. I hope you're having the most amazing Lionsgate season. This is a really potent one, extra potent one. And I have been, oh my God, I've been in the biggest manifestation in my business. So I'm really excited about that. Amazing, amazing. So I will see all of my Kainat ladies at noon Central Time. We've got a 3 hour office hour sessions where we're going to go be doing some workshopping. Everything you guys learned in the 7 hour training that we did on your business bombshell, like all of the stuff we taught. Now Irfan and I will join you at noon and we'll workshop with you guys. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and I will see you guys in Desires. All right. Bye, everyone.